Hello guys and welcome back to the video, and today we are going to be watching My Story Animated. I'm going to be watching these two videos, so let's get started.
Hey, I met that guy. Ha! We wore the same coat to a party, and I was like...
Hi, I'm Leila from Vancouver, Canada. Please like and subscribe. I've been a pretty awkward kid ever since I can remember. It was always hard for me to open up to people, and it didn't help that they always found a reason to mock me.
Who did your hair today, Leila? Your cat?
It's purple shirt day at school. Are you too poor to get one? Feeling self-conscious, I was walking to the teacher's table to place my worksheet when I tripped over nothing and fell on my face. As the teacher helped me up, I elbowed her in the nose. Great. When Mom came to pick us up that afternoon, my brother Roma was grinning at me. He was 3 years older and born perfect. Good grades, great at sports, perfect hair. Heard you made a teacher's nosebleed today, Leila.
It was an accident, and it wouldn't have happened if you'd done my hair properly, Mom, or if you'd bought me a purple shirt. Everyone makes me feel like I'm so odd.
But the green shirt really brings out your lovely eyes, darling. And who called you odd? How dare they? You show me who it is, and I'll give him a piece of my...
No, Mom, let's go.
How about I learn some cool girly hairstyles from YouTube? Roma was always coming to my rescue, literally. Like this one time, I skateboarded right into the neighbor's new car, and he took the blame for it. Also, when I fell down a slide and took a girl down with me, he saved me from getting beaten up by the other playground kids. And if there was something Mom wasn't good at, he definitely tried to make up for it. Mom loved us a lot, but she showed it in her own funny way. She wasn't the kind who packed lunches or attended school events or helped with homework. That was all Dad. But Mom was crazy and fun. When she'd be in a good mood, she'd go over the top, cooking fancy dishes, buying us lavish presents, and even throwing crazy parties. Once when I was 12, I told Mom I was craving chocolate cake, and she drove me out to a bakery in another town that made the best chocolate cakes. But when our turn came, they were all sold out. What? I drove out for 2 hours and stood in line for 40 minutes.
Sorry, ma'am, but the old lady before you got the last one.
Mom ran after her and started begging her for the cake. Mom, we can come back another... I'll pay you an extra $50. Okay, $100. Come on, you old windbag, just give me the cake. The shopkeepers came to the poor lady's rescue, and then Mom lost it. She knocked over everything on their counters and then smashed a chair into the window. I'd seen her tantrums before, but this was the worst. She spent the night in jail, and Dad had to pay damages to the...
Okay, let's just say, what happened back here? Okay, so chair's all evil.
chair into the window. I'd seen her tantrums before, but this was the worst. She spent the night in jail, and Dad had to pay damages to the bakery. But it seemed like he'd had enough, because soon after, our parents announced that they were getting a divorce. Roma and I would stay with Dad, while Mom was moving to Seattle. Why do you have to go so far away? Sweetie, I need therapy to fix my mood issues, and there's a great center in Seattle where I can get help, and my sister also lives there. And I'll see you soon, I promise. That promise kept getting pushed further, and months turned into a year. She was only allowed to make phone calls twice a week from the center, and I wouldn't miss those for anything. Our talks made me feel better, because otherwise, things weren't so great. Since the divorce, I'd become even more distracted and clumsier, if that was possible. And Roma was soon very busy with school, sports, and friends, and girls drooling all over him. Mom kept pushing me to try to make my own friends, so when a new girl joined in 9th grade, I decided to try. She was sitting alone in the cafeteria, so I walked over, trying to act cool. Hey, Candace, right? I'm sure you're feeling lost and it's so hard to make new friends in this place, so I can totally be your friend. And I know all the cool spots around here. There's the unused janitor's closet and the bathroom that's always out of order, and as I was waving my fork around, I suddenly sent some spaghetti flying straight into Candace's eye. OMG, are you trying to kill me? No, I'm sorry. And do I look like a fellow loser to you? If I want friends, I can have them with a snap of my fingers. I don't need, wait a second. Aren't you the girl whose mom went crazy in a bakery? What? No, I don't know what you're talking about. It is you. Your mom tried to snatch that cake from my grandma, and I was there for the whole thing. Well, that explains a lot. Candace spread the bakery story everywhere, and she really wasn't kidding about making friends fast. Soon enough, she and her minions were constantly finding ways to pick on me. Mom, can I come live with you? I hate it here. Dad and Roma are too busy, and everyone thinks I'm a weirdo, and now I've got these meanies after me. Just ignore them. When they don't get a reaction out of you, they'll eventually give up. And you're not weird, Leela. You're special. You think that because you're my mom. Okay, so when can you leave the center? In a few more months, darling. All right, I really miss you. I miss you too, love. Then one day, I came home to find Roma setting up the table for dinner, and there was an extra plate. Oh, good, you're here. Listen, Dad's bringing a friend over tonight, and I want you to be open-minded about it, okay? About what? But before he could reply, Dad walked in with a beautiful woman on his arm. Who's this? This is Karen, honey. We've been dating for a few months, and I thought it was time to introduce her to the family. Hi, Leela. It's so nice to... Dating? Excuse me, what about a mom? Leela, we got divorced 2 years ago. Don't you think I deserve to move on? You're unbelievable. I don't know how you thought some woman could possibly replace my mother. Mom was working so hard to become better, and she always said she wanted to get back with Dad. How could he just go and find someone else? Later, I opened the door to find food and a note from Roma. I know change is hard, but I'll be here for you when you're ready to talk. I didn't understand why Roma was so okay with all this, and I didn't even have time to get used to the idea because suddenly Karen was moving in. Anytime she tried reaching out to me, I just ignored her, but it got hard to do that with her redecorating the house and even putting up a giant picture of herself and Dad in the living room. Mom, please come back. This woman is taking over our lives. I still can't believe your father moved on so quickly. He forced me to join this therapy center because he said I wasn't fit to take care of you kids. And while I've been here all alone, he found a replacement. I bet she's younger and prettier, isn't she? No, Mom, she's ugly, and she could never replace you.
Google Ads helps you turn curiosity into customers who are interested in what your business has to offer. Now you can reach people based on what they're curious about. Google Ads. Turn curiosity into customers. Visit ads.google.com to learn more.
Cat getting too cool? Give him New Temptations dry cat food.
She will never be your mother, Leela. Of course she won't. I felt so betrayed by Dad. Mom would need a job and a place to stay when she left the center, and I decided I'd start saving up to help her. I wasn't gonna live here with Karen. I started doing odd jobs for my neighbors, like walking their dogs, babysitting kids, mowing lawns, but my clumsiness always led to some disaster soon enough. After one of my neighbor's dogs ran away from me and got lost, I was officially banned. Then I decided to set up a cupcake stall outside school after hours. I was baking up a storm for my first day when Karen walked in. Hi, sweetie. You having a bake sale at school? Please don't call me sweetie. It sounds super fake. Okay, I won't. I'm pretty good at baking, you know. I can help. Gosh, why did you touch that batter? Ugh, now I'll have to throw it away. What? Why? Because you touched it, and I'm allergic to you, so probably other kids are too. Karen's face turned red and she left. I didn't care. I hated her. My stall was doing great the first 2 days, and then I had the much dreaded visit by Candace. Oh, you got into baking because of your mom, right? So you can just make stuff for her and she doesn't go crazy in the bakery again? Just buzz off. Wait, is she still in jail? Are you selling cupcakes to collect money for her bail? Suddenly, I snapped and lunged at Candace. I ended up giving her a black eye and got detention for a month.
What's going on with you? I never thought you could be so violent.
How could you know anything when you never paid much attention? If you had time for me like Mom does, you'd know that Candace has been hurting me for ages.
But Leela, why haven't you talked about this to a teacher or the principal?
I've been ignoring Candace, just like Mom said, so they'll stop bothering me.
That's never gonna work. They'll just keep getting bolder and...
Look, why do you have to butt your big nose into everything? You're not my mom.
Well, thank God for that, because you're a brat.
I was shocked at Karen's outburst. Because she usually never reacted, she left the room and I stormed off too. Spending a month in detention, I got introduced to a whole new crowd of kids, and a senior named Chad seemed to take a special interest in me. He was pretty popular in school, and I felt flattered when he asked me out.
Chad's in my class, and he's trouble. Just stay away from him.
He seems perfectly nice to me, and just back off, dude. Unlike Roma, Mom was happy to hear I had a boyfriend, and it didn't hurt that Candace looked like she'd eaten lemons every time she saw me and Chad together. Soon after, Chad invited me to an exclusive party in the school gym on Saturday night. Luckily, Dad was out of town with Roma that week, and I didn't expect Karen to check up on me, so I sneaked out easily. Candace was invited too, but I ignored her as I danced away with Chad. I excused myself to the bathroom, but moments later, I heard the lock click. Hey, who is that? I'm in here. Oh, I know. See you Monday. I kept banging on the door, but no one came. I'd even left my bag in the gym with my phone inside. I tried climbing out the bathroom window, but I slipped and hurt my ankle. It seemed like hours had passed when the door was finally opened by Karen. Oh my God, are you okay? Karen immediately took me to the hospital and had my ankle bandaged up. How did you know where I was? I came to your room and found you gone. And when you didn't come back hours later, I opened your laptop and saw some pictures Chad had posted on Facebook. By the time I got to school, the place was empty. I can't believe Chad didn't even look for you and just left. That was a very low move. Look, Leela, I'm sorry for calling you a brat. I know I've been a huge adjustment for you, but don't let your anger make decisions that'll hurt you. You deserve so much better than Chad, and you don't have to put up with Candace. We can talk to the principal about this if you want. Whatever you decide, I'm here for you, and I'll never try to replace your mom. Thank you, Karen. It turned out that everyone at the party had later ruined the school hallways with spray paint and had been caught on the security cameras, so they were all suspended for 3 weeks. And while Dad and Roma were still away, Karen and I started to bond. She was smart and funny, and I found myself enjoying her company. She often did these thoughtful little things that made me warm up to her. But when I told Mom everything, she flipped out. So, you and Karen are BFFs now. Don't you want me to come home? I do want to see you, Mom, but Dad loves Karen now, and maybe it's better this way. It's better? So you've just replaced me? No, I could never replace you. Karen's your hero now, and I'm just nobody. Well, at least Karen is here for me. Sometimes I think you just keep lying about being in some center. It's been more than 2 years. Mom, are you in jail? Now I'm a liar? Wow, what an ungrateful brat. Listening to your non-stop whining. You're not even that special, Leela. You're being horrible, Mom, and I don't want to talk to you. I felt too angry to call her the next few weeks, and she didn't either. But things at home felt good, and the 4 of us even had some fun together. And when Chad returned to school, I broke up with him.
Why are you being such a baby? I thought you'd gotten bored at the party and gone home. Listen, you're just a loser. You can't break up with me.
Hey, let go! Suddenly, someone punched him, and before I knew it, Roma was attacking Chad. He ended up in the hospital with a concussion, and Roma was charged with assault. No, please, he was just defending me. He thought Chad was hurting me. But the officers wouldn't listen to a word. Karen and Dad weren't home, and I called them to come quickly. While I waited for them, I felt like I needed to tell Mom everything. I called and called, but she wouldn't pick up. Had something happened to her? But my last words were so mean. I called again frantically, feeling panicked, and then I blacked out. I woke up later in a hospital with Dad and Karen by me. Everything came rushing back, and I started to cry. Mom's not coming back, is she?
Oh, sweetheart, I'm sorry. After your mom had an accident on her way to Seattle and ended up in a coma, you started having blackouts. And sometime later, you invented this story about Mom being in the center, and you started talking to her on the phone. It was your coping mechanism, and we just had to wait for you to heal on your own.
I realized that my fear of facing the bullies or my guilt at letting Karen replace Mom was all coming from me. Mom was just my own inner voice. What about Roma?
He'll be doing community service for the next 6 months.
Dad, I'm so sorry for the way I've been acting. I've been angry and lonely, and I think that's why I made up those phone calls with Mom. But I don't feel so lonely lately. I think I'm ready to get help and try to move forward. And we'll be with you every step of the way, love.
Okay. What does that have to do with that? Your brother, that's my name. My story anime.
Hi, I'm Iris, and my younger sister Chloe is my nemesis. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. Ever since we were kids, Chloe picked fights with me. She ripped the heads off my dolls, threw food in my face, and tossed my clothes in the trash. On my 11th birthday, Dad bought me a dollhouse. Chloe got jealous and smashed it to pieces. I was furious. She ruined my dollhouse. She's an evil brat.
I'm sorry, Daddy. It was an accident.
Dad always took Chloe's side because she was the youngest. The next day, Dad bought 2 dollhouses, one for me and one for Chloe. Of course, Chloe's was 10 times better. School was even worse. Chloe was so competitive. If I liked a boy, she just had to have him. She even told lies to turn all my friends against me. One day, I got so mad, I tossed a glass of milk in her face and she poked me in the eye with a French fry. Things escalated and we both landed in detention. But soon after, during the annual school play, we got into a shoving match and the principal tried to break us up. She slipped off the stage and broke her arm. We were suspended for 2 weeks. And as if that wasn't enough, Chloe convinced Dad to make me do all the chores around the house.
Daddy, I really want to help. I'm just so exhausted. It's hard work being popular and perfect. The pressure is crushing me. I feel so weak. Can I just lie down?
For years, Chloe had Dad wrapped around her finger, and I couldn't stand it. By the time I turned 16, I'd had enough. I threw Dad a surprise birthday party and invited all his work friends. Dad was a university professor, so when I started talking about math and science, they were really impressed. Your daughter is so smart. Her understanding of subatomic theory is impressive. I love physics. I listen to lectures on YouTube all the time. I know a ton about atoms. I dated a couple last year. One had really nice abs, and the other was a football player. One even took me to the spring dance. Dad turned red, and all his friends started laughing. We were talking about atoms with a T? You moron. Chloe was so embarrassed, and then she pounced on me. We fought like wildcats. We smashed into a table and banged into a wall. Chloe grabbed a vase and threw it at me. I ducked, and the vase hit my dad's boss in the head and gave him a concussion. Dad was fired the next day. A couple of weeks later, Dad told us we couldn't afford the house anymore and we had to move. Are we poor now? I can't be poor. Poor's not cool. I still get my allowance, right? I need a new hat and some new shoes. Stop being an idiot. If Dad can't afford rent, then he definitely can't afford to buy you more shoes and a stupid hat. Shoes are a necessity. How am I supposed to walk around without them? Maybe you should get a hat too. It could hide your huge blockhead.
Enough. Pack your things. We're leaving tomorrow.
The next day, we moved into my grandma's house across town. Dad inherited it a long time ago, but no one had lived in it for years. It was dusty and old and filled with bugs. Chloe was so freaked out that she hid in a closet. I can't come out. I'm allergic to dirt and those bugs will eat me. I helped Dad clean things up, and after a few hours, the place started to feel more like home. Soon I discovered that a weird boy named Elton lived across the street. He kept saying that our house was haunted by an old pirate who'd hidden his treasure in the forest behind our house. He also kept begging me to let him come over, and eventually I said yes. We spent hours in the basement searching for ghosts. We never found any, just a ton of old papers and books, and an ancient-looking trunk with some weird symbols on it. The moment Chloe spotted me with Elton, she had to get his attention. She pranced around in front of him in these ridiculous outfits like she was on a runway until she tripped on a loose board and fell on her face. I couldn't stop laughing.
Hey, look, it's a treasure map.
Treasure? You mean like jewels and gold? Duh. What kind of other treasure is there, dodo bird? Chloe snatched the map out of Elton's hand and
What was that?
What kind of other treasure is there, dodo bird?
What the heck?
Chloe snatched the map out of Elton's hand and darted up the stairs. Elton and I ran after her. Give it back, you witch!
If you two can't share, then neither of you can have it.
Just as Dad was about to rip the map in two, Elton lost his mind. No! Elton told Dad all about the map, the pirate, and the treasure in the forest. Then Dad got the strangest look on his face.
My grandmother told me that her uncle was a pirate. I always thought she was making it up.
I'll find the treasure, Dad. No, I'll do it.
How about you both do it together?
Chloe and I immediately started complaining.
Or not at all.
I guess I can tolerate her dumb face for a day, and I can pretend she's not an idiot.
I can come too. I'll be their guide. Okay, it's settled then. Find the treasure and we'll split it 4 ways.
The next morning, we set out to find our treasure with Elton leading the way. I'd never been on a hike through a forest before, but Elton was the best guide. He pointed out a bunch of different birds and plants that I'd only seen in textbooks, and he even picked me a rare flower. It would have been really romantic if Chloe didn't make us stop every 2 seconds so she could take a selfie or post a video on her social media. After a while, Chloe got bored and yanked me to the side. Is there something wrong with Elton? Like with his eyes? There's nothing wrong with his eyes. His vision is just fine. Then why hasn't he asked me out yet? I mean, really, look at my face. I'm gorgeous. Boys love me. You're keeping him away from me, aren't you? You want him all to yourself. What are you hiding? Is he secretly rich or something? No, he's just a regular kid. Liar! After that, Chloe started flirting with Elton every chance she got. She'd bat her eyes at him, flip her hair over her shoulder, and give him the most ridiculous compliments. Elton, you're so strong. The way you hold that water bottle is amazing. Aren't your muscles tired? Elton blushed like an idiot. That bottle weighs less than a pound. Elton, my feet are tired. I don't think I can go on. Would you carry me? We've been walking for less than 20 minutes.
I guess I could carry you for a little while.
Elton fell for Chloe's act, and suddenly, I felt like the third wheel. I walked ahead with the map as Chloe laughed at Elton's corny jokes. All of a sudden, he wasn't so charming anymore. Then, something crazy happened. Chloe's spotted a beehive hanging from a tree. Look, that's so cool. Chloe hopped off Elton's back and ran toward it. Chloe, don't get too close to that. It's dangerous. I have to get a video. I'll be like the queen bee dancing under the beehive. Get it? A real queen bee. That's me. Chloe ran under the beehive and started dancing like she was Beyonce. She threw her hands in the air and accidentally hit the hive. It came crashing down and a swarm of bees charged towards us. Chloe started screaming and darted past me and Elton. Run! The three of us ran deep into the forest and hid in a cave. How could you be so stupid? How was I supposed to know those bees would get so mad? You destroyed their hive! Chloe and I started pushing and shoving each other. Then I noticed that Elton was gone, and so was the treasure map. Hey, where did Elton go? He left us, you bird brain. Why would he do that? Then suddenly, I had a really bad feeling. I think he tricked us. He wanted the treasure all for himself. I knew it. I tried to tell you something was wrong with him from the start. The way he ignored me at first, I never have to try so hard to get a boy's attention. I started freaking out. We were lost in the forest and didn't have a clue where we were. I pulled out my cell phone to call for help, but I couldn't get a signal. We weren't that far from the trail. You know how to get back? Maybe. I think I remember where I took my selfies. Can I borrow your lipstick? This lipstick? Oh no, sis. This color will do nothing for you. You should try a light pink. Maybe even like a honey matte. Any earth tone would work. Please, just give me the lipstick. Chloe handed me the lipstick, and I drew the map from memory on the cave wall. Stop! You're ruining it! Do you want to live the rest of your life stranded in this cave with all these bugs? Chloe spotted a bunch of bugs on the wall and started freaking out. I calmed her down, and we recreated the map from memory with
Willingham se acerca peligroso al área. Mientras
Chloe adding all the landmarks she remembered from her selfies. I took a picture of the map and we were off. We spotted Elton's footprints leading out of the cave. We followed them all the way back to the beehive. I checked the map and we were just a few miles from the buried treasure. Oh, how much farther? I'm sweating and it's not a pretty look. I ignored Chloe and kept going. 10 minutes later, we caught up with Elton. He'd found the treasure and he was digging it up. We hid behind a tree and watched him. I should slap him across his face. No, Chloe, we need a plan. But Chloe didn't listen. She darted over to Elton and tackled him. As the two of them wrestled, I headed straight to the treasure. A small trunk was buried just beneath the dirt. It had the same markings as the trunk in our basement. I wiped off the dirt and opened it to find a gold box inside. I was about to see what was in it when a boy who looked exactly like Elton came out of the woods and charged me. It's a clone! Chloe punched her Elton in the nose. She grabbed a rock and threw it at the second Elton, and then we ran for our lives. We raced down the trail, passing Chloe's selfie trees along the way. They're aliens! Evil clones from outer space! They're gonna eat our brains! You're thinking of zombies! Aliens don't eat brains! They're alien zombies! The two Eltons were hot on our trail. Then all of a sudden, Chloe stopped. What are you doing? We have to get away! The Eltons are right behind us! Do you see this sunset? It's amazing! I'll get at least 1,000 likes. Just one selfie. She started taking pictures, but then I grabbed her by the arm and dragged her down the trail. Then out of nowhere, the two Eltons appeared. We were surrounded.
Give me that box and we'll let you go.
No, it's ours. Hey, that second Elton is wearing Dad's gold watch. Oh my God, you're even wearing Dad's shirt. Give those things back or I'll kick your butt.
I'll make Elton kick your butt. I can't do it myself. I just got a manicure. Just give us the treasure and no one has to get hurt. Or maybe someone will get hurt. It's not like you'd love each other like real sisters.
Then Chloe snatched the box out of my hands. You can have it on one condition. I get a cut, and then we won't report you to the police. The Eltons thought about it.
Fine, deal. Wait, you can't trust her.
You can't trust him.
He's my brother.
And he makes you do all the dirty work, doesn't he? If you guys get caught, he'll probably make you take the fall.
You do have a point. Don't listen to her, stupid. Don't you call me stupid, you stupid.
The boys started shoving each other, and Chloe and I ran off. But just as we got out of the forest, Chloe tripped on a log and sprained her ankle. I yelled for help, but there was no one in sight, and the boys were gaining on us. We'll never make it. Leave me. Save yourself. I'll never leave you, Chloe. You're my sister. Sure, you're annoying, but I love you. You smell like rotten tomatoes, and your face makes me sick, but I can't imagine my life without you. Then the boys caught up to us. Take it. We don't want it. Just leave me and my sister alone.
Wise choice.
Elton snatched the treasure out of my hands. He opened the box, and inside was a picture of me and Chloe as babies, smiling and holding hands.
What is this junk?
Out of nowhere, Dad appeared with a bunch of police officers.
It's a picture of my daughters, and they're the most valuable treasure in the world. That's so lame. And you're under arrest, you thieves.
Dad snatched his watch off the second Elton's wrist, and then the police hauled both Eltons off to jail.
I'll never forget about you, Chloe. I think I love you.
I know.
Will you visit me in jail?
Not a chance, loser. Dad ran over and hugged us.
I'm so happy you found your treasure.
But it's just an old picture.
No, it was a time when the two of you loved each other and got along. I sent you on this treasure hunt so you could bond and stop fighting and remember what it means to work together and be sisters.
What about the Eltons?
I didn't have a clue about them. If Chloe hadn't texted me, I would have never known you two were in trouble.
What text? I sent it to him after I took the sunset selfie. I noticed my phone had reception, so I texted Dad and told him we were in trouble.
Elton and his brother have been traveling around the country, robbing houses. Apparently, the police have been after them for years.
After our treasure hunt, Chloe and I started to get closer and stopped fighting so much. Chloe even taught me how to do my makeup, and I helped her study. And every year, Dad hid a new treasure out in the forest for us to find. $20 says, I'll find it before you do. Make it 50 and a new pair of shoes. You're on.
Okay. Well, that's all for today. And I will see you in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. 10 subscribers, and I'll let one of my subscribers play with me and on Roblox. And have a good day. Peace.